Hi guys, been having a few problems with Uber lately, and I thought I would share with you a phone call that I actually managed to have with the supervisor, front desk supervisor. But here we go.
Big name in their
Yes,
house.
Benjamin Merkenhoff.
Big name in their
Yes,
house.
Benjamin Merkenhoff.
Gonna black the screen right now.
044321. Email address is benmerkenhoff@yahoo.com.
Thank you very much for providing me that information. That actually verifies the account. All right. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for acknowledging the call. I understand that this is something very urgent in line with your account status with Uber. And I can see here that, or before I made the call, I tried to backtrack quickly what transpired in your account, and it seemed that just been endorsed to me as you requested to speak to a supervisor pertaining to pertaining to your account status. Yes, and I can confirm here and that the account is currently on hold. This is in line with your driver's license submitted last updated March 18th, that's right? Okay. Now, in line with the regulatory requirement by NSW, it is a mandate with Uber and, of course, in accordance with NSW government.
Point-to-point commission. The point-to-point commissioner. Yes,
that is correct. So, once the license has been submitted, there will be a data transfer between Uber, the RMS, and the service NSW, which usually takes 6 business days. Okay, from the time that the license has been approved. This is a regulatory requirement because NSW would like to ensure that there's no issues with your document, and once they have confirmed that in their dashboard, that everything is intact and there's no issues, no suspension or anything, then they will confirm that to Uber, and Uber will wait within.
And that's via your DVD.
Okay?
That's what via your DVD. The point-to-point commissioner can't actually access, and it requires an update from.
That is correct.
RMS or Services New South Wales.
Okay. That is correct. Yes.
That update of my driver's license is 7 days ago, not 6.
I can see here, Benjamin, that your document has been approved last March 18th.
Yes.
Okay? So once this has been approved from that day on, this has been confirmed to our specialized team has communicated definitely with the NSW government. And as a regulatory requirement, they have given Uber between 6 business days to confirm that your license is has no issues and is active in this.
And you can see
so
from the
during this point, let me speak first, Mr. Benjamin. I'm here. I called you up to explain to you the process. This is a regulatory requirement. Uber will just wait from NSW your confirmation. All right. If the confirmation has not been sent to Uber, definitely we have to wait within 6 business days. And apparently, from the 18th, the time that your license has been approved, it's still up till tomorrow that we have to wait. All right. Now, nevertheless, I can see here that the account, the issue, at the same time, has already been escalated yesterday. Right? And our higher team, yesterday. It was escalated. Okay. This one is a different escalation. This is an escalation if the 6 business days has not been confirmed. But apparently, it's still within the time frame. But one of the associates has already escalated to the higher team. The escalation that happened last time is a normal process to a specialized team, internal specialized team, who will validate your license. And they will communicate. They're the ones who communicate with the P2 point-to-point NSW regarding the details. All right. Now, if the 6 business days has not been, or there's no confirmation from NSW beyond 6 business days, this is the process, internal process that we escalated. But apparently, it has not yet reached the 6th day on the fourth day, an escalation has been made, and we have to wait for that because that is the higher team who's already looking into the issue. So definitely, if you give us a call, our frontliners will be the ones speaking to you, and this is out of our scope already.
Okay.
So all you have to do is just wait.
Sorry, you continue speaking.
No, I said my piece already, and I hope that is clear. This is a regulatory requirement, and this is to inform you. A call has been made. I have to call you and inform you that we are still waiting for NSW confirmation. If you have an option to call NSW regarding this, and of course, this is to inform you as well that this is already has been escalated, and our higher team normally action on this issue if there's an escalation to them within 6 business days as well. But I'm not saying that it's after 6 days. It's within 6 business days.
I understand.
And all drivers has to wait and undergo same process. Once their license has been submitted and has been approved by Uber with regard to the requisites and eligibility requirements, definitely it will be escalated to our internal specialized team. All right? If there's no issues within 6 business days, they have a communication with NSW, then an information or tag in the account will be placed prior to reactivation, because the activation is a separate team as well. So they will not receive the ticket or the issue if there is no tag that will be placed on the account that their license is good to go.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you being upfront with me, and I have several points to go through.
Okay, sure, no worries.
Okay,
go ahead.
Firstly, my license didn't expire until Wednesday last week, and yet the hold was put on my license at the time of renewal. So that's the first point of issue. So if someone does this one day before their license is required to be renewed, or 7 days before their license is renewed, what actually happens? Do you just put a hold on their license because they've renewed it and they can't work for a week?
No. Okay. I don't understand where you're coming from. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, that is the normal process. It's a regulatory.
I understand.
Okay. Now, if the license is expiring,
further.
Okay.
I understand the regulatory requirement, but the regulatory requirement doesn't kick in until my license has expired. It kicked in a day early because I renewed my license 1 day prior to it expiring.
Okay.
And on the Wednesday, I was unable to go online because of a tenure issue with my license, which doesn't make sense. When you click on the app, on the driver's app, and it says there's a tenure issue with your license, it says that I haven't held a continuous license for 12 months in New South Wales, and I need to provide an interstate license. I've held a license in New South Wales for more than 20 years. I've driven for Uber for 16 months. So the actual app is not making sense. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I don't understand.
You do understand or you don't?
I'm listening.
All right. So I've held a license, which I've provided traffic records for, etc., when I joined Uber, continuously for the past 20 plus years. However, the driver app states that there is a tenure issue with my license because I haven't held a continuous license for at least 12 months in New South Wales, and that I'm provided or required to provide information about interstate licenses. The interstate licenses don't exist.
Okay, so we trying to? What are you trying to bring here?
I'm trying to.
Because I can see here, license has been. Okay.
The second.
There was a submission
point
here.
that I'm going to bring up is that I've been told via the app with my communications with the escalation that it's 3 days, not 6, and the 3 days have expired today. So I don't understand why we're not getting told the correct information via the app.
That is the normal thing.
The normal thing is to not.
That is
to not get the correct information.
No. Let me correct that. Okay. The 3 business days apparently is within the period wherein our internal specialized team would communicate with Uber, with MSW, the time that your document has been approved,
which is a week ago.
All right. Yes. Now, if it's beyond 3 business days, then definitely the escalation has to be executed, which happened March 24. This is to the higher team.
Why does it need to be escalated to that? Were you not able to actually access my information?
Because the MSW has not confirmed yet. Uber will just wait for the confirmation of Uber, of NSW, if there is no issues with the driver's license, and if all your details has been already in the dashboard of NSW, which is a new system on their end.
Right. Okay. So when you send me a message on the 22nd of March, stating we are currently verifying eligibility for rideshare services with the Point-to-Point Transport Commission, rest assured, no further action is required from your end at this time. Please allow up to 3 business days for this process to be completed. In the meantime, you can log into partners.uber.com.
Okay. All right. Okay, Benjamin, I understand that you are basing all this information from the website.
No,
okay.
This information from an email conversation, which has been the best way to communicate with Uber, because unfortunately, trying to do it by phone until this point in time has been quite unfavourable. Talking to you is fantastic. Okay, so, and this is not personal between you and I, but I have been out of work for a week.
Of course not. Okay, I don't understand that. I can see here that you have submitted your renewal. Let me just inform you this, okay? Last March 17, you have submitted as a document, right? Together with your old license, because I can see that your license is expiring March 19.
Yes,
am I correct? Is it March 19th?
I think
all
it's
right.
18th, but
now,
19th fine.
If you have renewed your license prior to this date, then definitely, and you have submitted the document, the renewal receipt with the old license before the expiration date, then definitely we can upload that in your account. Okay, and of course it will.
It's approved, as you can see.
Yeah, that's right. It will undergo Benjamin a normal process of 1 to 2 days, because we do have a separate team as well who validates documents. So once the document has been received, they will validate the document with regards to the validity and the guidelines prescribed by Uber in line with the document that has been submitted. Now, if they approve the document, then definitely that is the time that this has to be escalated internally with our specific team. Okay?
Right.
I'm not sure with regard to the 3 business days that you're running with. Because normally that's 6 business days.
An email confirmation that I've got through the app.
Is this in line with after you have submitted the document?
Yes, it is. In fact, It was submitted well before that. It was submitted on the 20th of March. I got a reply, and there was a problem with my PTLC.
Okay,
Which
I
aligns
understand.
with what is
Well, if
on the Uber app. But I've provided my codes on my license details as per the digital license, my fines and my demerit points, which are all perfect. I have 0 fines, 0 demerit points. I have spectacles because I wear glasses, and I have T for passenger transport.
Okay.
And I've been issued my digital license. I don't have my physical license yet because they actually send it in the mail. And I checked today; it's still not here. So I've sent all of that information through, and that was sent on the 20th of March. And this is after dealing with it on the Wednesday, the 19th. I've done everything that's required on my end. However, I've also talked to the point-to-point commissioner in regards to how to have you update my details. And they said that all you need to do is run a manual check on my license using your DVD, which is the drives check that you do. They can't do it because once they've sold it to you, it's your property because it has all of your drivers' names and license details, etc. on there. It is up to you to run the manual check, and it would go through, no problems at all. I can see all of the details on my license using RMS or Service New South Wales that meet your requirements. What doesn't make sense is that on your app, it states that I might not meet the tenure required to be a driver, which makes no sense at all. Because the tenure requirements, as per your app, states that I need to have a New South Wales 12 months, 8 months.
That is correct.
I've driven for you guys for more than 12 months in the last 2 years.
Okay. All right, I do understand that. Okay, on that perspective, Benjamin, I know you're right. You have been 20 years or 30 years. Apparently, there is a mandate with Uber, in NSW. It's an internal mandate in accordance with NSW
Service
government processes or policies. Okay. Now, if you left NSW, all right. Hypothetically, let's just cite an example here for you to understand.
I haven't left NSW.
Yes, but let me explain. Okay. There are drivers who calls us, but they failed when it comes to the tenuity requirement for the 12 months, because that is an absolute requirement by Uber in accordance with NSW rules. Okay? Now, if this driver,
you can clearly see that I have driven for Uber for more than 12 months.
I don't understand.
But that is,
but let me explain the exception. There is an exception here.
An exception.
Okay. We receive calls that we're in, even if 30 years, 40 years that drivers have drove in NSW. Tendency, if they left NSW and moved to another state and then came back to NSW, those years that you have driven will not be considered because you left NSW.
See,
that's an internal process.
I have driven on your app. You can see that I have driven.
I don't understand. I'm not referring to you.
5 to 6 days a week for the last 14 to 16 months. I have not left the state. I own my own home in this area, for the last 10 years. Prior to that, I was in Newcastle, which is only an hour's drive away, for the previous 10 years. I have not left the state. I have not held any other license in New South Wales. So
were you prevented?
You're making is incorrect.
Okay, I respect that perspective, but that's how the mandate is going on right now. Okay, if you left NSW,
what is leading to this mandate? You have deplatformed me for a week now.
No, I'm not. Again, Benjamin, I'm not referring to you. I'm actually giving you. I'm trying to explain the internal process by you. Okay, that regardless if you're 20, because if you
a hypothetical,
okay,
in regards to other drivers, I'm not talking about other drivers. I'm talking about me. Can we get back to the point?
Okay, sure. Then there's no problem with your driver's license because definitely you have a 12-month tenure. Correct, right? Oh, then what's the issue?
That's what your app is saying. Your app says currently.
Okay, that's why I'm telling you.
You made
okay. All right. Okay. This is
license tenure requirements. That is the issue.
There is a minimum requirement. That is correct. That is 12 months.
And I've met that.
Then your license was not rejected, right? It was approved.
No, it's not approved. I can't go online. That's why we're talking.
No, your license has just been approved March 18th. It has to undergo regulatory requirements.
The whole point of the phone call, we're actually getting to the point. The whole point of the phone call is my license has been approved with the receipt and my previous license photographed. And I'm waiting for my new license.
Yes, that was March 18th. I'm looking at the.
However, I cannot go online because of this.
Yes, definitely.
I cannot.
Definitely, because I explained to you that it has to undergo a regulatory requirement. There is a tag that is supposed to be placed on your account, even considering the fact that your license is approved. But that
this guy's a fucking idiot.
Because there is a regulatory requirement that there would be an exchange of validation between the RMS, NSW, and Uber for 6 business days. Now, once that's confirmed to Uber, then our specialized team will place an information or tag in your account, which is a requisite prior to activation. And this tag is not yet present in your account.
Right, so 6 business days.
Yes, and the 6th day will end tomorrow.
Why don't
we cannot fast forward this, Benjamin, because this is a regulatory requirement. The NSW, right? They would confirm.
I'm going to accept what you're saying. However, when it comes to the communication with your drivers, that needs to be amended. All right? Because the communication that I've had through this whole ordeal is that it's 3 business days. And you can check.
In line with what you're looking at. Okay, this is what we suggest, Benjamin. Okay, it's a good thing. I appreciate you bringing this up. We strongly suggest to all drivers that anything they read in the app, in the website, they have to call Uber to confirm. Because perhaps you have not, some drivers have missed refreshing their app, and sometimes there's a glitch in the system that, or there's a delay in the update that sometimes information is not that updated. So anything that you see in the app, we suggest all drivers to call Uber support to confirm.
Okay, but that doesn't make sense because I've actually used the email conversation in the Uber support.
Okay, let me confirm.
The 20th
The time, when did you receive the notification?
20th of March, 3:26 p.m.
20.
3:26 p.m. on the 20th of March.
Okay. Well, this is in line perhaps with the 6 business days. Because normally it's 3 to 6 business days.
It doesn't say 3
But
to 6,
definitely
it says
that
3 business days.
Yes, that is why I'm telling you right now that it's the regulatory requirement. Apart from the new system with NSW on their dashboard, because all drivers have their own dashboard in NSW.
Well, that's why I'm saying that your information that's being given to drivers is incorrect.
Yes, that is why I'm trying to inform you as well. Yes, there could be a delay.
Up to 3 business days, not 3 to 6 business days, up to 3 business days.
Okay, no problem. I will try to note that and address this concern. I appreciate that. I appreciate that feedback. But nevertheless, anything you read in the website, please call Uber if there's to confirm anything. Okay,
As you can see,
moving
from
forward.
my extensive calls.
Moving forward.
Many hours on the phone to Uber.
All right.
Regarding tolls and
Okay.
trips and not paying waiting time and other bits and pieces. But this is the most inconvenienced I've ever been dealing with Uber. And it's not you, it's just the way that it's all written. And this is your company's writing. Your account is currently under review by Uber, and this process may take up to 3 business days. You've just explained to me something completely different, where it takes 3 to 6 business days as per regulatory requirements.
Yes.
I would suggest to Uber
We will try to
drivers the correct information,
and
that brings me back to another thing, unfortunately, and that is, whilst my previous license was still valid, why was I restricted from the Uber platform? I renewed my license on a Tuesday. It didn't expire until midnight Wednesday. Why was I restricted after renewing my license on the Tuesday?
Tuesday is what date?
I'll get there in a second. The 18th.
Yes, the 18th. All right, definitely it is at random time, at random check. Because definitely some documents are placed on hold if the system has detected that the document is expiring. That's why we inform all drivers to take note of the expiration date of all documents and have it addressed at least a month before the expiration date. Because at random, if the system has detected an expiring document, definitely you would count the place
to go down this track and make up stuff. I'm sorry, but I have received absolutely no documentation that states that I need to update my information.
I do understand. But
there is no documentation saying that. If you're saying that should happen, then you should make that happen, because there is no documentation.
Yes, but we also
received to state that I should update my license.
Well, normally.
Otherwise, I could be.
Well, normally it's being cascaded, Benjamin. But if you perhaps you missed it out, or perhaps if there's an issue.
What is this cunt on about?
Generated messages, or perhaps it went to your spam.
No,
if you have full inbox.
Email conversations, I can go back to notifications. Your driver's license front is expiring. Please renew. Yeah, sure. There is nothing to state that. Let's have a look. As far back as I can go, 2 weeks.
All right. In that case, this is what we suggest, okay, Benjamin?
Just keep talking.
We all know for a fact that the
This
system
guy's a fuckwit.
Is not 100%. Okay, so sometimes there's a glitch. So what we encourage most to all drivers is to take note of their expiration dates of the documents. Okay, and be responsible to this documents, not to reach expiration date, because that definitely.
I was responsible enough to maintain my license
Then
in the correct form for New South Wales services. I'm legal to drive. I have 0 points. I have 0 fines. I have a 4.99 rating on Uber. Everything is perfect. And yet Uber has punished me for a week, which is a week's wages lost. $800 to $1,000 gone. You understand where I'm coming from?
I know, I understand where you're coming from, but all drivers are also waiting for this. Undergoes this system. They have to wait 6 business days. Well, if that's the case, then we would respect your opinion.
Well,
right?
I'm sure.
Because this is a regulatory requirement. It's not Uber's. It's not Uber's.
Worldwide are going through this, and they can't produce money for a week, which produces Uber $250 for the week on a mediocre wage, and you've got $1 million. That's $250 million that Uber is losing out on.
I would respect whatever assessment you have, Benjamin. I cannot contest that. But all your feedback has already been noted. All right. So inform him. And definitely we appreciate that feedback.
What is the time frame that I can expect?
If the issue, Benjamin, has already been escalated, definitely you just have to wait for the notification coming from them. We cannot provide a time frame, but normally if it's escalated.
But do you agree tomorrow is 6 days? Yeah.
Yes. So definitely. But it's up to NSW. It's up.
Tomorrow is 6 days.
The 6 business days is the normal time frame. Okay, but that would depend on the regulatory validation by NSW.
Okay, so I've actually provided you with information from the point-to-point commissioner to run it manually.
Yes, it would be better if you call them and confirm if they have called Uber.
And they're very interested to find out what's going on. They called me today twice to find out if this issue is rectified.
I just mentioned, Benjamin, that this has already been escalated 2 days prior the 6th day. So this is actually with a higher team.
Yes.
All right. So I'm not in the position to provide you any information.
Business day ends at 2:10 tomorrow afternoon. Correct?
Probably, hopefully. I'm hoping that this will be settled.
Is that when the business day ends?
Tomorrow. Because your license has been approved
tomorrow.
March 18th. I'm not sure. Just keep on signing out and signing back in from your app. If in case the account has been reactivated, you would be able to go online.
Since March 18 is today.
Yes.
That's 6 days. Today, not tomorrow.
Yes. 6 business days.
6 business days from March 18th is today. 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 25. 6 business days.
Yes.
So we've passed the 6 business days as of today.
Yes, so definitely the confirmation coming from NSW has not been confirmed yet, or if ever it has been confirmed, our specialized team is doing the process perhaps.
They're not that fucking special.
Notification in your account to be endorsed to the activation team. If not, This being handled now by the higher team.
Are
Okay.
you able to,
If the issue has been escalated to them,
diary in a call back to me? I know my call's been difficult, and look, I do appreciate your position. Are you able to call me tomorrow?
I will. If I have the time, Benjamin. I cannot promise, but given a chance, I will. I will try to monitor this
diary
as well.
4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or Daylight Saving Time tomorrow.
By 4 o'clock. I will try that.
You'll try, or can we actually?
But definitely, Benjamin.
Miss to a call back.
Okay, Benjamin. This issue has been escalated. The issue has been escalated.
I know
it should be the escalation team who should communicate.
Personally, to know that an escalated issue is being dealt with correctly.
I will try to monitor. I will try to monitor the escalation ticket.
But you're not.
Okay?
You're not committing to
the
a
list
phone
that I
call
can
back to me.
I cannot commit.
Why not?
Because the issue has been escalated.
Well, I know it's been escalated, but you
and we are not allowed to for case handling. We are not allowed for case handling.
Contact with customers, and let's face it, I'm a customer.
Okay, Benjamin. The process is if it's already at the escalation,
I understand that.
It's out of our jurisdiction.
Interest. Yeah, and this is nothing against you.
If I'm gonna call you, I may be violating the internal process. If I'm gonna case handle your case, and besides,
checking to make sure things are getting done that are put in place to the escort.
That is correct. We can just follow up the ticket that has been
you can
escalated.
follow that up
Because I'm a supervisor.
Perfect. And it'll be a pleasant phone call. I've got nothing against you, and I appreciate you calling me back. I really do.
Okay, sure. All right, I cannot commit, but I will try, Benjamin. Okay, whatever development in that escalation would be up until tomorrow, 4 o'clock, I would call you if I would have a chance.
I'll accept that.
Would that be fair enough?
I hope you really do take it on board, just to double check. And I'm not going to unleash on you or anything of the sort. All this is a phone call between two people, okay? And I'd hope that you would want to double check to make sure something is done.
I would. Definitely,
in a timely fashion, right?
Because I do understand where you're coming from, Benjamin. On top of this,
I'm just hoping that you'll take the time.
I do understand because this has affect your, of course, your
my livelihood,
earning expectation for the week already or for the month.
Out of my wages.
All right, and I know that the mere fact that you just want to continue, earning and driving, the honest whole,
I like
even the
fact that Uber. I really do, because it allows me to look after my son at the appropriate times in special needs. I'm able to drive when I can drive, but this has been a real heartache because I'm unable to drive when I'm able to, and I'm legally able to, and it just seems to be a breakdown in the system. Now, I'm just going to add one last thing. When I renewed my license, Service New South Wales had a statewide outage of their computer systems. I'm wondering if this is part of the problem.
That is, I'm not really aware of that concern. Okay, we would be able to know that, and perhaps the higher team would send you a communication with regard to the status. Okay, so perhaps if that has affected your case right now, then definitely they would divulge that information. But apparently, as of this juncture, I am in no position to tell you what is the status. But what I can ensure, Benjamin, is this has already been escalated to the higher team. Because if there's no escalation that has had to happen, I would escalate it today.
Yes, yeah. Well, there's already been
because I want
this. Like this is 3 or 4 escalations.
Yes.
and that's part of my issue, is that there's no communications in regards to the escalations. It's just the same message copied and pasted, and that's not fair. I need to know where this is up to, and I appreciate your phone call back, but again, as you're not in the escalations team, I would hope that someone in the escalations team could actually call me, but they don't do that.
I don't understand. I was trying to of course to push this matter and and to update the ticket from the escalation with regard
Well,
to your
I
concern.
appreciate that.
Okay?
I appreciate
That,
that. And you are given a level of delegation to be able to discuss this with me, but really I need to be talking to the escalation team to try and figure out why. I'll give it another 24 hours, so it's definitely 6 days is done and dusted. I would appreciate if you can consider giving me a call back just to check. That's all I would ask. Just to check, have you had communication via the app or an email or a phone call? And when I say yes, I have, you can feel great that you've done the right thing. If I say no, then it may be something that you would like to sort of chase up on your end to try and make sure that they're doing the right thing by the people that are earning money for Uber to be able to pay your wages. Yeah?
I don't understand.
All right. Look, I appreciate your time today.
All right. So
I really do. And
likewise, Benjamin. I appreciate your patience as well and your understanding with regard to this. And as part of this work, I have a limited access and information, and of course, a resolution to be made. But the least I can do is, of course, have this addressed to the operate team, and I can confirm that right now that it has already reached their bucket. The only thing here is perhaps to wait and, of course, to make a follow up of them. Okay, which I'm going to
appreciate that completely, and I really do. I mean that bottom of my heart that you're actually taking this on board, and you might follow it through.
Definitely. Because I don't see any issues on your end, apparently, because you have complied with the requirements. I can see that your license has been approved, and there goes the 6 business days regulatory requirement. But then, definitely, 6 days is a big issue, definitely, and loss of income here, perhaps. Especially on the financial side, right? So, if this case, we encounter such cases, Benjamin, but then definitely I do understand the part where the drivers are waiting for the account to be reactivated to continue earning, and apparently the worst part here is after the document has been submitted, yes, the driver still has to wait with regard to this validation process. But nevertheless, it's a good thing you called, and I was able to catch this special case, and I have the ticket, and I have an access to that ticket of what's going on because of a supervisor's access. So no worries. Hopefully, I could have a good or an action should be taken within the day, and perhaps by tomorrow you could be the platform again.
I would love that.
And looking forward to that.
If it is approved, feel free to call me, and I thank you for it. And I'm not. Look, this is not personal between you and I. It's just
I don't understand. Yes, I don't understand.
Is needing some updates, and you need to be aware of those updates. So you can probably give feedback to have less calls like this.
Please bear with Uber's processes at this juncture, because apparently at this point Uber has no system yet where driver can communicate to the escalation team or whichever escalation departments. So we do that internally. So that is one thing that hopefully by someday that you could communicate with these departments. But as of this juncture, it's not being
You're the
implemented yet.
closest I've got
All right?
to
Because
communicating to that department, and I appreciate your time for allowing me to do so.
All right. Thank you so much, Benjamin. And I
Well,
appreciate
I
your
hope
time.
to hear
Will
from
there be
you
anything
tomorrow
else aside from
with
this?
good news or with
Yes.
disappointment. I don't care.
Hopefully.
Either which way, if you communicate with me, it would go so much further.
All right. I will, monitor well,
and endeavor
from
to
this
do
day
so,
on.
please.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Definitely. All right. Anything else that I could be of help to you?
At the moment, I'm not driving.
Thanks, Benjamin. Well, the only thing I'm looking forward is, for you to continue driving.
Me too.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. Watch your hand. Have a great day.
Goodbye.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.
And do you think I'm going to hear back from him tomorrow?
Yep.
Probably not. Now, I need to place that on several pages on Facebook. Yeah, that was live streamed. That's why I was trying to make sure you. That's why that was over there. Your stream will stop immediately. Yeah, okay, end.